This is ABC7 News at 11, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us. Haley has the night off. Well, it was like a scene from a movie, but this time it was real. A large fire broke out at a visual arts building under construction on the campus of Ringling College of Art and Design. ABC7's Rick Adams is live there tonight with more in the story. Rick?
Yes, Scott, smoke could be seen for miles away. It certainly put a big scare into some folks here.
I was kind of scared because I didn't know where it was.
That was the reaction from Ringling College freshman Stacy Moon and other students whose dorm rooms are near the site where a huge fire took place early Tuesday afternoon.
We just saw a bunch of big black smoke.
The smoke and flames were coming from the three-story Bash Visual Arts Center, which is currently being built. Fire officials tell us roofing materials sitting on top of the third story somehow caught fire.
The materials that were on fire were flammable, of course, and they were in pallet formation, so that's why there was so much smoke and fire itself. There is no fire protection up there while it's under construction.
It's not yet known how much damage this fire caused, but we're being told it was contained to that third floor area. Ringling College's president Larry Thompson says he was in a luncheon meeting nearby when he was informed of the fire.
I walked out and I saw the flames shooting out, and it was like, oh my gosh.
Many of the students are away for spring break, but for those students who are still on campus, they got one big surprise. For senior computer animation student Esteban Bravo, he was in his room when he found out about the fire from friends who were texting him.
I wasn't sure where it was coming from, and when I went out, I saw a huge pile of smoke.
No one was injured in this fire. College officials say the new building next to the site of the fire should still open as scheduled this Friday. And investigators are still trying to figure out exactly how this fire got started. Reporting live from Sarasota this evening, I'm Rick Adams. Scott, back to you.
All right, Rick, thank you so much. The Bradenton Police Department is investigating a suspicious incident involving a child and a man in a car. This all happened along 11th Street West around 4:30 this afternoon. Police say a 10-year-old child was approached by a person in a station wagon that looks like the one pictured here. The man offered the child a piece of candy. The child's grandfather overheard the conversation, and then the man drove off. He's described as a white man about 60 years old with white hair. He was seen driving an older model silver Ford Taurus wagon. Anyone with information should contact Bradenton Police. Time now to get a check on our weather on this Tuesday evening. Let's get to Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan for more on that. Bob?
Well, it wasn't the only smoke from Ringling. We also had some smoke problems down into Naples, where the fire continues to rage down there. In fact, parts of I-75 still closed. Let's get to the information as we see it right now. Here is a look at it. The fire is now 6,500 acres large and only 15% contained at this point. And as you see right there, parts of I-75 closed in both directions between exit 105 and 80 due to the smoke, and evacuations have been occurring tonight, and there is a community center which is open right now for residents overnight as a result of that fire. And the high fire danger exists as a result of lack of rainfall in South Florida. There's some rain on the way over the panhandle. You can see that, but it's weakening as it pushes in our general direction. The fire index, if you will, is very high in southwest Florida. You can see some of the highest numbers right here into Charlotte County as well as into Highlands County, all those numbers on the high scale. We'll have much more on our rain chances coming up in just a few minutes. Scott?
Okay, Bob, thank you. The Central Intelligence Agency may be using your computers, cell phones, and smart TVs to spy on you. We're learning this after WikiLeaks published nearly 9,000 pages of documents from the CIA. This is only the beginning of a release of what WikiLeaks is calling Vault 7, the largest leak of CIA information ever. The website claims the information is from a high-security network located inside CIA headquarters in Langley, Virginia. WikiLeaks is no stranger to leaking information from the U.S. government.
This is just the latest time that WikiLeaks has humbled the U.S. government. For the past 7+ years, they've published hundreds of thousands of classified files from the State Department and the Pentagon.
The CIA is not commenting on the release. WikiLeaks redacted information about who the U.S. government is targeting with these hacking tools. House Republicans unveiling their new plans to repeal and replace Obamacare. But Democrats and even some Republicans are voicing their concerns ABC's Janae Norman is in Washington with the division inside the Republican Party.
It's the great divide in Washington. On one side, Republicans backing the newly unveiled plan to overhaul Obamacare.
I'm proud to support the replacement plan released by the House of Representatives and encouraged by members of both parties.
And on the other, Democrats.
This is a dumpster fire of a bill that was written on the back of a napkin.
And even some Republicans.
We are united on repeal, but we are divided on replacement.
Trump Care is finally available to the public. And Democrats, a growing number of conservatives, and millions of Americans don't like what they see.
The GOP plan ends penalties for uninsured Americans, but also ends the expansion of Medicaid.
Will it cover more Americans with affordable health care than today? Is probably the key question.
Meanwhile, the president's wiretapping claim is still a talker on Capitol Hill. Top Republican John McCain calling out Trump's unsubstantiated claim that President Obama wiretapped Trump Tower.
He should come forward with the information that led him to that conclusion. It was a very serious charge against the previous president of the United States. And so there needs to be some corroboration.
FBI Director James Comey has privately asked the Justice Department to come out and say Trump's wiretapping allegations are simply false. But the White House is standing by the claims, now asking the House and Senate Intelligence Committees to investigate. Janae Norman, ABC News, Washington.
Suncoast Congressman Vern Buchanan is responding to the demands of his constituents. The U.S. representative has scheduled a town hall meeting in Sarasota for later this month. He's scheduled to speak at New College of Florida's Sudikoff Center on March 18th. The venue can hold up to 400 people. He's expected to discuss the GOP push to repeal the Affordable Care Act, among many other issues. Florida's legislative session getting underway today, and House Speaker Richard Corcoran and Senate President Joe Negron are both laying out their priorities for the session. Negron telling fellow state senators they should strive to improve the state's university system to attract students from across the nation. In the House, Speaker Corcoran lashed out against the state judiciary and state spending. Corcoran says lawmakers should not be afraid of big ideas and should be willing to fight for what they believe.
A robust civil debate is a sign that our democracy is working. When we get lazy and we start rubber stamping bills and we refuse to engage in intellectual, honest debate, that's when the people should worry. Opposed.
Corcoran also raised the possibility of needing to hold a special session this year if lawmakers cannot reach an agreement on some important issues. Florida's legislative session is slated to last until May 5th. Now, Corcoran also discussed his opposition to continuing 2 agencies in the state. Governor Rick Scott used his State of the State address to defend his request for tens of millions of dollars to lure in companies and tourists to Florida. Both Enterprise Florida and Visit Florida have been targets of the Florida House, which wants to eliminate Enterprise Florida altogether and then scale back funding for the tourism agency. Governor Scott addressed the growing disagreement between himself and the Florida House about business incentive funds.
For our state to simply say, we are not going to compete with other states, we're not going to make it easier to incentivize job creators to grow in Florida, that's just a big mistake for our state and for our families.
We don't need 2 government agencies doing, in essence, the same thing. We ought to have one. It ought to be public. It ought to have all the requirements of openness and transparency for the taxpayers who are funding it.
During his speech, the governor also reflected on the tragedies and natural disasters that have affected Florida in the last 12 months. He thanked first responders from the Pulse nightclub terrorist attack and addressed the Fort Lauderdale airport shooting, Hurricanes Hermine and Matthew, and the Zika virus outbreak. Still ahead tonight, we'll get back to Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan with our official Suncoast forecast. Plus, a group speaks out for the equality at the Sarasota County School Board meeting tonight. And the former executive director of the old Gee Whiz Museum in Sarasota resigns from her most recent position in Tampa.
Across America with Mega Jackpots, it's Mega Millions.
Hello, America. I'm John Crowder. It's Tuesday, March 7th, and tonight's Mega Millions jackpot is an estimated annuitized $94 million. To win that jackpot, you must match these 5 white balls plus that gold Mega Ball. Now, let's see if I can make you a millionaire tonight. Our first winning number tonight is 30. That's followed by 68. Up next, we have 3. That's followed by 53 in your final white ball for this Tuesday evening is 45. Now for the Mega Ball. Tonight's Mega Ball number is 11. Again, tonight's winning numbers are 30, 68, 3, 53, 45, and the gold Mega Ball is 11. Now, if no one matches all 6 numbers, Friday's jackpot could be $106 million. Play on, America.
Now's the perfect time to create a custom system with California Closets. During our Door and Drawer event, save up to $500 on beautiful doors and drawers for any room. Contact us today for your free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com for Chef Judy's favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining. ABC7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you weeknights at 5.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
Are you considering joint replacement or revision surgery? Consider this. Dr. Edward Stolarski has performed thousands of successful joint replacement procedures and trained surgeons from all over the world. Using advanced technologies, Dr. Stolarski is able to perform some of the most complex surgeries.
I wish I knew about Dr. Stolarski much sooner.
After the surgery, I don't have any pain. It's like I've got a 16-year-old hip.
My name's Ed Stolarski. What I really do is I give people back their life.
Schedule a consultation today.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
There's a whole new way to bank at Achieva Credit Union with Achieva Checking Plus. Get new, unique features like full ID theft protection and online shopping rewards. Plus, it's an interest-bearing account, so you have a little extra for what really matters. Achieva Checking Plus isn't just an account for your money, it's for your life, including cell phone insurance. And that's good to know. Discover the plus at achievacu.com. Achieva, banking for good. Achieva Credit Union is federally insured by the NCUA.
We are going to build a great society where no man or woman or the victim of fear or poverty or hatred, where every man and woman has a chance for fulfillment and prosperity and hope.
Come into a California Closet showroom to experience our quality materials and construction and collaborate with our designers to create the perfect custom solution for any room. Go to californiaclosets.com to request a free design consultation and locate the showroom nearest to you.
Well, Bob was showing us earlier how dry it is in our area, and then that big fire down in Naples.
Right.
It's closed the interstate all night.
Interstate, the Alligator Alley there closed down, and looks like things aren't contained all that much. 15% containment right now. That's not much. The good news is, though, is that the humidity is coming back up. On top of that, the winds are lessening somewhat, so we don't see as much a wind, and that's always a problem when you're battling fires. We are looking at some lighter winds around, too, throughout the day tomorrow. A frontal system is heading our way. Normally, that would be a good thing, bring some rain, right? Well, this one doesn't have a lot of power with it, and it looks as though we will see it weaken as it heads down the state. And as far as we're concerned, we're not looking at any kind of significant rainfall from the system. We may see a few brief showers again on Thursday, but you can see the frontal boundary itself exists right there. And it's a cold front. There's not much of a cold front. It will push to the southeast over the next 48 hours and then eventually fade away right across central Florida. Now, there were a few light rain showers into central Florida as a result of that east to southeasterly wind component, which brought some moisture in from the Atlantic and hit the warmer temperatures of the inland areas and produced a few light rain showers. Well, with the photos that were sent in today, a beautiful shot from Casey Key. Kathy sending this one in. See those nice fair weather cumulus clouds off in the distance there. Seas were rather calm with an east wind, at least near shore, offshore, and in the open waters of the bay, a little bit different. And a lot of photos being sent in to pics at mysuncoast.com of the fire that took place today. We talked about it earlier. Tom Wilson sending this one in. Appreciate the photos. Keep them coming to pics at mysuncoast.com. Casey Key webcam review showing the nice weather for beaches, and then we saw a few clouds move in late in the evening just as the sun was setting, and that's a result of that southeasterly flow. I wanted to show you this. This is where the fire is right here, and it's 6,500 acres. That's a big fire, and it's moving as the smoke goes toward the northwest. You can see the plume of that smoke right there quite clearly working its way off into Sarasota and into Charlotte counties earlier today, and that could again be a problem tomorrow. Well, the wind, as I said, the gusts will be coming down tomorrow. We had gusts as high as 30 miles an hour today. The wind gusts tomorrow should not be nearly as high, maybe 10 to 15 at times throughout the midday and into the early afternoon hours. We are not anticipating a very windy day on Wednesday, but we will see the winds return on Sunday as a result of another storm system and cold front headed our way. The next front on Sunday has a little bit better chance to produce some showers, but it doesn't appear that it's going to be a widespread rain event by any stretch at this point. 66 degrees at the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport, a couple degrees warmer in Bradenton and in Venice. We have generally fair skies. The high today above average, 82 degrees, or 83 I should say. 75 is the average and 89 the record set back in 1964. And no rainfall to report today. We're over 3.5 inches below average for this year thus far. And the forecast tomorrow, no rain in it, just a lot of sunshine. Great news for beachgoers and people doing some golf or tennis outside. Should not be a problem like it has been over the past couple of days with those strong winds around. What's happening is that front comes down, the high pressure shifts off to the east, and that frontal boundary sets up right across central Florida. Now, there will be a few inland showers on Thursday, mainly along the sea breeze front and the residual moisture left over from that cold front. Cold air, extremely cold air is getting ready to move into the Great Lakes and Northeast over the weekend. So winter not officially over yet, despite the fact they had a little taste of spring weather over the past few days there. Well, for boaters, it will be a light chop out there in the bays and inland waters. The forecast for Wednesday, sunshine and then a slight chance for showers comes Thursday and Friday. We lose an hour over the weekend, remember that. And then clouds move in a little bit on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday with a slight chance for a few showers at this time. That could change. We'll see how the other forecast models play out for the rest of the week. Scott?
All right, Bob, thank you. A new wave of threats against the Jewish community. Today, the Anti-Defamation League and several Jewish community centers across the country received bomb threats. This adds to the more than 100 threats federal officials have been investigating. ABC's Danya Backus has the latest.
Once again, this is the scene at Jewish community centers across the country. Students in Florida forced to evacuate after another bomb threat was called in. And in Chicago, police search cars and block streets because of the same type threat.
Just being a school, it's been very worrisome. And now there's an added threat.
The Anti-Defamation League says this is a new round of bomb threats plaguing the Jewish community. In New York City, where they receive threats, the mayor calling it unacceptable.
Unprecedented. We have not seen anything like this in many years.
Federal officials have been investigating more than 130 threats across the country since January. There's also been a rash of vandalism at Jewish cemeteries, the White House condemning the latest threats.
We denounce these latest anti-Semitic and hateful threats in the strongest terms.
Friday, Juan Thompson was arrested in connection to threats allegedly made against at least 8 Jewish organizations. But even then, ADL officials warning the threats could continue. The Anti-Defamation League says anti-Semitic crimes have nearly tripled from the same period last year. Threats, cemetery vandalism, and graffiti make up the biggest increase. Danya Backus, ABC News, Los Angeles.
A packed house at tonight's Sarasota County School Board meeting, but not to discuss anything on the agenda. Dozens of people came to speak out about transgender equality during the public comment period. Many of them spoke about why all Sarasota County public schools should allow transgender students to use the bathroom of the gender they identify with. Nate Quinn helped enact a similar policy during his time at Pineview School last year.
With all the discrimination that I faced in high school and that trans people face across the country, with all the bathroom bills and all the legislation that is going through and is being talked about at the federal level, I think it's a fight that needs to be clear at the local level and state level as well.
After speaking to us, Quinn was escorted out of the meeting by law enforcement. Former head of Sarasota's Gee Whiz Museum is out of another job. The Tampa Bay Times reports Molly DeMulinaire has resigned as president and CEO of the Museum of Science and Industry in Tampa after just a 2-year tenure. The museum had financial troubles before her time, but it's shown little improvement. She spent 2 years as the executive director of Gee Whiz in Sarasota, where many blamed her for the museum's financial issues. She left in 2012, and 4 months later, Gee Whiz closed for good. Sarasota County Sheriff's Office is stepping up its patrols as it prepares for spring break crowds. The department expects many visitors to come into town in addition to local students who are enjoying time off from school. More deputies will patrol local beaches and popular entertainment locations in order to reduce the number of crimes and incidents. And deputies are paying extra attention to underage drinking, drug possession, and traffic enforcement. You'll also see electronic signboards with these reminders around the county in the coming weeks. Sports is coming up next, but first, here's what's up next on Jimmy Kimmel.
Here's what someone paid us to do tonight. Here we go.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
You only have one life. Are you gambling with it? 1 in 3 adults have high blood pressure. Not knowing your numbers could cause you to lose, big time. Luckily, you can turn the odds in your favor by getting your blood pressure checked today. Don't leave your health to chance. Learn more at heart.org/HPV.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Peace of mind is really crucial. The safety and security of this higher level of care, I think, is really important. Great nurses, great doctors, technologies that can really help when you are dealing with complications, high-risk newborns, or the infants that have medical conditions. This is the kind of care that we want at our public hospital.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
I heard about the Dottoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dottoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was. I can tell you that you will not find a finer, more professional team of clinicians anywhere in the world.
Now, sports.
Florida Gators will open play in the SEC tourney on Friday night, but today the coach and some of his players receiving some postseason honors. The SEC coaches choosing Florida's Mike White as the league's Coach of the Year In his second year after replacing the legend Billy Donovan, White has led the Gators to a 24-7 regular season. The Gators are a lock for the NCAA tourney, likely as a number 4 seed. Other Gators receiving postseason awards: guard Kevon Allen is first-team All-SEC. Canyon Barry is the league's top 6th man, and guard Casey Hill was named to the All-Defensive team. Tampa Bay Rays visiting the Yankees in Tampa today. We pick it up in the 8th inning. Rays trailing 4-3. Ryan Brett sends one deep, long, and gone to left field. That ties the game at 4-all. This one went to extra innings, and in the 10th, score now tied at 6-all. Tyler Wade bounces one up the middle. Shortstop Jake Cronenworth can't handle it, and that's enough to score the winning run from third. The Yankees beat the Rays 7-6. Congratulations to our fan of the day. This is Jeffrey Daugherty's son at this afternoon's Orioles game at Ed Smith Stadium. Looks like he's celebrating a big catch. Or maybe the Orioles win over the Dominican Republic team today. Remember, you can be our fan of the day for the next Orioles home game by sending in your photos to pics@mysuncoast.com. Tomorrow's schedule looks good for area baseball fans. The Pirates will be home hosting the Dominican Republic at Lecom Park. And the Orioles are back home tomorrow to host the Blue Jays at Ed Smith Stadium. Both of those games get underway at 1:05 p.m. The Buccaneers offering a contract to another of its current defensive linemen. The Tampa Bay Times reporting the Bucs offered defensive end Jaquez Smith a 1-year deal. He's a restricted free agent, meaning the Bucs can match now any other offer he may get from another team. The Buccaneers are reportedly courting a veteran wide receiver. Negotiations beginning today for all of the NFL's free agents. The NFL Network reporting the Bucs will make a strong push to sign Deshaun Jackson. The speedster caught 4 touchdowns last season for the Redskins, but would give the Bucs that downfield speed at receiver that they now lack. Teams can begin signing free agents on Thursday. That's sports for tonight. We'll have tonight's winning lotto numbers right after this. Stay with us.
There's a whole new way to bank with Achieva Checking Plus. You get new features like full ID theft protection, and that's good to know. Discover all the benefits at AchievaCU.com. Achieva, banking for good. Achieva Credit Union is federally insured by the NCUA.
The official Suncoast Storm team at ABC7. We're here for you.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetsi. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Attention, this is an important message for anyone who has taken Xarelto or Pradaxa. If you or a loved one took the blood thinner medication Xarelto or Pradaxa and was then hospitalized for internal bleeding, you may be entitled to significant compensation. Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to serious, even fatal internal bleeding. If you suffered a stroke, heart attack, or serious internal bleeding, or if a loved one died after taking Xarelto or Pradaxa, call us now. Our network of attorneys have years of experience fighting the big pharmaceutical companies and is ready to fight for you. Potential claims are being reviewed for users of Xarelto or Pradaxa who have suffered severe bleeding or hemorrhaging, stroke, or even death. Our network of experienced attorneys is ready to fight for you. You won't pay a thing unless your case is settled. Call today for a free confidential consultation. Don't fight this alone.
Please call 800-928-6604. That is 800-928-6604.
There's a whole new way to bank with Achieva Checking Plus. You get new features like cell phone protection for 3 phones, plus an interest-bearing account. And that's good to know. Discover all the benefits at achievacu.com. Achieva, banking for good. Achieva Credit Union is federally insured by the NCUA.
An Oklahoma girl is the youngest contestant to ever qualify for the Scripps National Spelling Bee. Edith Fuller is only 5 years old. Tulsa World reports she earned the spot by beating more than 50 children at the 2017 Scripps Green Country Regional. The homeschooled Tulsa girl will now advance to the final level of the competition, which is set for the end of May. Look at that.
Can you imagine? You see her sitting there between those kids.
I know.
It's amazing.
That's
Homeschool.
amazing.
Lots of word repetition, I imagine, in homeschool there.
Reading that dictionary.
To learn
right?
that, yeah. We're learning a nice day tomorrow. Sunshine, temperature around 80, little wind. Nice.
That's great. Yeah. Thank you so much for being with us. Jimmy Kimmel's next. Have a good night, everyone.